Hello.
Hi,
Hi, Mama. How you doing?
I'm okay.
Awesome. What do you want to ask me about?
I wanted to see if there's any advice or anything from my parents.
Mm-hmm. As far as what?
Any future moves I'm planning
Oh,
to make?
if they're gonna make any like relocations or moves?
Yes.
Yeah. Um, there's actually going to be three moves. That's a lot. Three moves. The first one may be a temporary move in the end of next year. So I want to say this is going towards the end of 2022.
Okay.
It feels temporary though. They might not even be moving away. They may just be moving out of their house or out of their home for a little bit and then moving back in. And then the next year, there's another actual move in December of 2023. That's the second move.
Okay.
That one seems like it could work. However, oh God, there's a lot. Then 2 years after that, there's another move. It's weird because it almost feels like the second move they make is to a property that they decide they're not going to stay at, or they decide to do something different with than what they originally thought they were going to do with it. And then the third move is when they actually move into a place that's more permanent and it's closer to y'all. So it feels like there's going to be three moves. One that's just temporary out of the house or out of the property. And then the second one is actually moving to another property or to another place. And then I want to say right after that, 2 years after that is when they actually make another move, which is the third move, which is a permanent move.
Okay.
Okay.
And that,
So the question, where right now, where are they? Is it in the house that they're in, or is it like a rental or apartment?
no. It would be like for me, but my parents they both passed. But I wanted to see if they had any advice in regards because we're planning something like a move.
No, I'm seeing like parents moving. So do y'all have other people like parents or in-laws?
I have my in-laws.
Okay, this is the in-laws then, because I'm seeing people like parents moving. So again, there's a first move. Where do they live right now, the in-laws?
Right here in the same city as we do.
Okay, got it. Do they live in a house or they're like in a rental?
House.
Okay. They're not going to stay in that house. So they're going to end up, first of all, there's a temporary move next year. That's a temporary move. It feels like they're moving out of their home because there's either renovations, repairs, or something happening later next year.
Okay.
Then they move back in. So they may stay with y'all temporarily while that's all going on. And then the second move is they're moving to another property that either has land or acreage that is going to be where they thought they were going to want to be at. But then like after being there for a couple of years, like, we don't want to stay here. And then they end up moving again, which is like almost closer to y'all or actually living with y'all. And then that may actually be what ends up staying as a permanent one because it feels like they're going to live basically with y'all. And the third move, and then that works out fine. And then the second place of the property with the land ends up getting used in a completely different way.
Okay.
Yeah. Had they already talked about wanting land or wanting property with land?
Yeah, it's because one of my my brother-in-law, he did move up to Hesperia, so I'm trying to like get
them to come move up there. Yeah, they're gonna do it, and then they're gonna regret it 2 years later. So then they're gonna move again. So they might want to be prepared for that. Yeah,
we're actually trying to move out that way too. So that's why I wanted to see if my parents had anything in regards to like that to see if it's a good thing from their end,
So what was the question again? I'm sorry to catch that.
So we're trying to head out that way too.
Mm-hmm. To move over there? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I wanted to see maybe if they had any advice for us.
Yeah, but are y'all? First of all, with you, let me focus on you for a second, then I'll connect with them. With y'all, are y'all trying to move and just buy land and then build on it?
No, we actually wanted something already like a newer build.
Okay. Yes. Well, here's the thing. I don't feel like y'all are just going to end up with like a newer build. I feel like y'all are going to end up buying land and then having something built on it. That's a little more custom or a little more to what y'all would want. It might turn out cheaper. And it also, y'all are going to get a really good opportunity through a builder or through someone y'all know who is connected to a builder, which might make it easier for y'all. So that may work better for y'all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, parents. Your mom. Thank you. Your mom is making my nerves itch or my nerves twitch. Do you know if your mom was having some nerve-related issues or some nerve degradation before she passed?
Not nerves, not that I know.
Okay. There's a woman that's coming through that had a stroke or she had some nerve issues because she's acknowledging that her nerves were giving her problems and she didn't have a lot of motor control.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
She's connected to you, to your mom, or to that part of the family, and it's an older lady. So there's a lady who had nerve issues, had a stroke, or she could have had Bell's palsy, but there's something that was affecting her before she passed, because she makes me feel like her nerves were giving her some issues. She also keeps acknowledging that she was losing feeling and sensation in her legs as well. You know what this reminds me of is whenever people have diabetes and they start having issues with circulation, but
Yeah.
I'm also seeing nerve issues as well. So this is a combination of issues.
Maybe it might have been one of my grandmas, if anything. Maybe my grandma, but I'm not too sure.
Do you know there's a name connection to one of them with the Susie or Susanna? It sounds like that. It's like a Susia. It's got a Susa sounding name to it. So it's like a Susa, Susana sounding name that's connected to your mom's side of the family.
Not Sylvia, no. No, I don't think so.
Okay, there's a female on that side. She had a nerve condition, or she had some nerve weirdness.
Okay.
She also might have had diabetes as well, because she's making me feel like there was a loss of circulation to her legs, or she couldn't feel her legs. I almost feel like she didn't actually have feeling of her legs, and she might have been paralyzed halfway down her body, because she's making me feel like there was some weird things going on with half of her body. But again, she keeps acknowledging something like this as well. She also makes me feel like people didn't fully understand her, or she had a condition that also affected her mental. So she may have not had the normal capacities that some people have. So you know how sometimes people have conditions that they aren't able to. What I'm thinking of, thank you. She's showing me my aunt Elvia. My aunt Elva she thought her husband was having an affair, so she went out to a parking lot, shot herself in the head. She didn't die. She ended up spending the rest of her life, which was like 50 plus years, in a wheelchair, stuck to that chair as like a vegetable. But she didn't have like the ability to do stuff. So she's triggering that memory for me. So this female that I'm talking about, there was something going on where either she didn't have mobility, or she had a nerve degradation that was affecting her ability to have any kind of regular like interaction. She might have not even been able to talk properly, because she makes me feel like I'm only hearing like someone like like I'm hearing like I'm struggling with talking. Do you know of a female connected to your mom's side of the family who struggled with this kind of issue?
I don't.
And someone had to take care of her, because she's acknowledging that someone had to take care of her and she couldn't do for herself.
And it would be from my mom's side?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm assuming I feel it's your family, but I'm thinking it's your mom's side of the family.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Not with that sounding name, at least, no. I'll have to look.
Okay. Even if the name doesn't fit, that's okay, because sometimes they'll give me the name of someone they're with, or someone that's here that is connected to them through you. But there's I'm thinking of Susie, and it's interesting because the woman that I'm talking about is my tia. Her daughter's name was Susie, which is where I'm getting that whole Susanna sound from as well. There's something there that they're making reference to, so there's an acknowledgement there. Okay, let me see if I can get back to your mom for a second. She's acknowledging 2 babies. Have there been 2 babies that have been born since your mom's passing, or are there 2 babies on the way?
Yeah, 2 have been after.
Okay, she's aware of the 2 babies. She also keeps showing me the number 12 as well. Do you know if December or the 12th of a month is significant?
December, my daughter.
Okay. She also keeps acknowledging, she's repeating it again. Do you also know the 20th is also connected? Because she showed me the 20th.
The 20th?
Mm-hmm.
No.
It's around March or April, because she's showing me March or April. So March or April 20th.
No.
Okay. That's okay. I'll leave that with you. She's showing me the 20th as being connected. So it's either March or April the 20th. She's making reference to that. She also keeps, thank you. She also keeps acknowledging, do you have a Bible or a prayer book?
It's somewhere hidden, yeah, in my
Okay,
thing.
she's acknowledging that. She's laughing, and she's like, when are you going to go to church? So I don't know. So she's like, you need to go to church and ask for forgiveness. So she's like, think messing with you or giving you like a playful hard time. She also keeps it, thank you. Your mom, she's squeezing my hand. Were you with her when she passed, or were you with her? Because she's squeezing my hand. Okay, because she's acknowledging that. Did you give her permission to go, or did y'all give her permission to leave? Because she's thanking y'all for giving her permission. So she's acknowledging that. She also makes me feel like she started to hear music playing, or she started to hear music and sounds. And this is when she knew something was happening, because she said she started hearing the music or the sound. So she's making reference to this as well. She also says nothing could have been done for her. This was just not going to work. So she's acknowledging that this was the right decision. This was the right thing to happen. And she's thanking y'all for giving her a chance to be free. She also just said happy birthday. She's acknowledging your dad. do you know if we're around a birthday or we're within 30 days of birthday? And then is there a connection to your dad with this as well?
Mine's on the 2nd, and my
Okay.
dad's on the 3rd.
Perfect. So she's acknowledging this as well. So she's aware of this. She also says, she's blowing you kisses like, so she's doing this. She's wanting to blow you kisses. She says she's proud of you. She says that you're a good mother. She also says, she's funny. She's telling your husband or your significant other, she's like, I'm watching you. I'm watching you. So to tell them that she's watching them or she's keeping an eye out. She's also talking about the money that they may be spending sometimes that you're not supposed to know about. So just FYI. And she's talking about a vehicle or changes to a vehicle. So I don't know if he just recently spent some unexpected money on a vehicle or he's been putting money towards something, but she's like, I'm watching you. So she's like doing something like that with him in the vehicle. So there's a reference there. Your dad's whistling. Do you know if he had a habit of whistling or he liked to whistle? Because he's like whistling for me. Okay,
Yeah.
he's like, so he's whistling. He also says, thank you. Do you know if he had a special thing for these cookies that he would always want to have with like coffee or with like milk?
Yeah.
They're these cookies that almost remind like the little Doña, I think it's like the Doña Ana's, or it's like the little cookies, the little like, do you remember those?
Yeah.
Okay, because he's acknowledging it. His mouth doesn't hurt either. So he says he can eat now and his mouth doesn't hurt. So he's acknowledging this as well. So I don't know if he was having difficulty biting down or he couldn't eat certain foods because he says that there were some issues digesting or issues being able to take some stuff in. So do you know if your dad was having some digestive issues before he passed?
I don't. I just know
he's doing this like he couldn't eat certain things or he couldn't eat certain foods. And I want to say it has to do with sugar, but he's acknowledging not being able to eat certain things or certain foods because he's making references. Again, he says his mouth doesn't. Did your dad have a couple of teeth that were hurting or that were a bit rotted? He's talking about not being able to eat something and it would affect his mouth.
I mean, he never mentioned anything. He was, like macho, but he wouldn't really mention anything.
Do y'all remember seeing like a little bit of darkness or a little bit of like inflammation on the side of his mouth whenever his mouth would be open? Do you remember something like that?
I never noticed.
Okay, there's something there. It's gonna sound weird because I'm hearing a name. Is there an Oswaldo?
Waldo?
Aldo, Oswaldo, there's like an OS sounding name that he's trying to give me. Do you know there's an OS, Oswaldo, not Oscar. It's like Oswaldo. There's a name like that he's making reference to. So Dad is acknowledging that name. He's talking about this mouth issue and then not being able to eat and then these cookies. There's something that your dad is making reference to. So you might have to ask your family because he's making reference to something like that.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have his hat?
I think one of like his cowboy hats, like vaquero hats.
Okay, because he's acknowledging his hat. So he's acknowledging having his hat. He's also putting it on you and he's talking about the rodeo. So you have permission to wear it if you want to.
One thing quick about him. Since he did pass away literally the next day after my birthday, we weren't in good terms then. Is there anything that he, like, does he forgive me for not speaking to him then? Or
he laughs. He's laughing. He's fine. He's not upset with you because he was laughing. Almost like he likes being right or he likes feeling like he got the last word in. So he's okay. He's fine with it. He doesn't want you to worry about it. He says he's tried to tell you that you're okay and that he says we're cool or we're good. That's how he puts it. So he's acknowledging it in that way. But he sends birds. So white doves are going to be a sign from your daddy.
White doves.
Okay. And if you see them in the flowers or in the trees, that's him.
Okay. Any certain things from my mom, like because I would see a lot of either butterflies or what are they called?
The butterflies are from a baby that didn't make it.
Baby. Okay.
Okay. So there was a baby that was miscarried, lost, or terminated, or didn't make it. That's the butterfly. The butterfly's connected to a baby.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Mama. Well, let me let you go. You take care of yourself, okay?
I love you.
Love you too, sweetheart. Bye, Mama.